All right. Welcome. I'm Tonya. This is a comeback yoga level 2 class, and you'll be needing a yoga block, maybe a step stool or something sturdy. It could be a chair, even for some of the work that we're doing today. This is a strong class, but you can always do what you can do and do what you need to do. You can make it harder for yourself, easier for yourself, whatever you like. Just come to this mat as you are, meet yourself where you're at, and do what you can. Always, always do what you can. Um, I think I said, but I'm Tanya, just mentioning that again. And Comeback Yoga is a nonprofit organization based out of Denver, Colorado. But because internet is worldwide, we meet you wherever you are. So whether you're coming from abroad and you're stationed abroad, or whether you're coming from a local place and you could be in a different time zone. Here in Colorado, it's morning, but if you're watching this recorded and uploaded later, it could be anytime. And you can watch it again and again and again, which is pretty cool. All right. So we're going to be working on the floor for starters, and we'll work our way up to standing, do some standing work, and then working our way back down to the mat. So, again, just do what you can. If you've had injuries, if you've had surgeries, and you know that you've got some restrictions in your body, and um, just do what you can. Take good care. All right. So, just finding a comfortable seat. You can be sitting on a cushion, you can be sitting on a chair, however you want. And your eyes can be closed or open. And we'll just start to kind of tune into the quality, the sensation, the movement of our breath today. Maybe our breathing in is easier. Maybe our breathing out is easier. It matters not. And there's no judgment or expectations or right or wrong with this. So, just tuning in to the natural flow of your breath. Where does it land? Where does it move you? How does it feel? Does it feel warm? Does it feel cool? Is there another texture to it? What else might you notice about the flow of your breath? Allowing the natural in breath and the natural out breath, where there's fluid or fluidity from one to the next, or is there a pause? Is there space in the pause? Is there tension in the pause? Is there restriction between the in breath and the out breath? Just noticing. Taking a few more moments just to sense where the breath arrives and noticing in your body if you're sitting upright. Does your head feel like it's naturally balanced on your spine, on your shoulders? Or is there any movement of the chin forward or downward? And what about the back of your head, the inside of your mouth and your jaw? What do you notice there? And the space inside of the ears, what do you notice there? And taking a few more moments just to sense your body and how your breath is in this moment, and the two, and how they interact, how there's an interplay of breath and movement. And if your eyes were closed, invite them open and we'll rub our hands together. And then taking your hands, your cupped hands, and place them over your eyes. The heels of the hands resting gently on your cheeks, and the knuckles of the hands resting on the brow, creating some space for your eyes, creating some nourishment for those eyes. And as we begin to move into our practice today, allowing the gaze to move inward to the landscape, noting sensations as you move through your practice today, and intending to move to what feels safe, comfortable, and yet moving us beyond what is comfortable on occasion. Release your hands down to your lap. Maybe the eyes remain closed. We'll take 2 more breaths here. All right. And allowing the gaze to lift again. Let's make our way onto our back, onto our mat. So coming down onto your back, maybe there's something under your head. And if you'd like to bend your knees, join me here with the feet maybe as wide as the hips or a little bit wider than the hips. Your arms can rest to your sides. Let's take a couple moments again to sense the breath. Notice the surface beneath you. Let's take both legs now up to the ceiling and the arms reach up as well. And start to rotate the ankles and the wrists. Notice if there's popping and cracking. And then bring your knees to your chest and straighten them back up to the ceiling. You can hold on to the back of the legs and bring them in. Do that a couple more times. Just kind of moving the legs away, kind of massaging the abdominal organs, warming up the joints. And then placing the feet down to the floor again, maybe a little bit wider than the hips. Taking your arms out to the sides and just kind of wash those knees side to side, like windshield wipers, side to side. Again, just maybe going to mm, whatever is allowed, whatever range of motion is allowed in the hips, and also um, maybe finding a little bit beyond that range just to sense, just to kind of move into some maybe stronger sensations without pain. But if there is pain, notice it. And is it something that's going to be problematic later? Or is it something that's always present? All right. And take your feet back to about hip distance and take one ankle on the other knee, opposite knee. And you can stay here or draw the knees in towards the chest. And you can hold on to the back of the leg here if that's available. Otherwise, you could just keep your foot down to the floor. And we'll hold here for a couple breaths. Now straighten your top leg towards the ceiling, hug onto the back of the leg, and hover the other leg down. Not maybe it doesn't come all the way to the floor, maybe it comes a few inches, maybe it comes high, or maybe it's way up. Just depends on um, how your back feels with this. And if your back starts to hurt a little or it's lifting way up off the floor, then kind of do a little lift of those hips and reintegrate and try to focus on the core stability here. Taking a long, soft, smooth ujjayi breath or victorious breath where we make a little sound, and that's okay. Make some sound with that breath. All right, and bringing both legs into the chest. And we'll switch sides. Ankle to knee, and stay there, or draw the knees in towards the chest. It might be a little early for them to come into the chest, but try not to force it. Sometimes less is more. All right. And send your top leg now towards the ceiling. Hold on to the back of the leg somewhere. And the other leg is going to hover along the floor. Maybe it comes all the way down. Maybe it hovers an inch or two. Again, maybe just adapting. So more warmth and more sensation. If the leg is about middle to lower, you might even just keep your foot or your knee bent. But we want to try to start to build some warmth in the core here. So make some sound with that breath. Good. And both knees into the chest, circling. All right. So bringing those legs back down or feet back down, taking the first ankle on the knee. And this time we're going to straighten the bottom leg. So ankle and knee together, and start to bring the knee into the chest, a little lift of the hips, and then send the leg away. Keep your bottom leg pushing against the ankle. Exhale, bring your knee in and lift the hips. Your hands can be just resting to your sides. You could hold the sides of your mat, or you can bring the hands behind the head and start to do some reverse crunches. Otherwise, we just bring the knees in, pushing the ankle against the knee for some resistance. Bring it in, lift. And let's do 3 more times. You can be going slow or fast. Make some noise with that breath. Last one. Good. And lower the foot down, lower both legs down to the floor. Stretch your arms and legs. We'll do a reverse plank here. So the arms coming down to your sides, and press down into the hands. Tone your glutes, press into the feet, and press into the triceps. Your hips may or may not lift off the floor. And release that. All right. Let's go to the other side. So ankle onto the knee. Keep that pressure there. So it's a little bit of resistance. Okay. And bring your knee in and then straighten it out. And again, it might go up to the ceiling instead, and that might be plenty. You might even just tap the foot down like so, and just kind of do some rocking using the core muscles to activate the core. Otherwise, go straight. And let's do 3 more. Good. And lower down. Straighten those legs again for our reverse plank. Arms to the sides, maybe grabbing the sides of your mat. Tone the backside of your body. Push down into the ground. And as you push, engage and lift, maybe an inch or two. Maybe you're really strong and your hips come up even higher. All right. And lower down. And take a moment and just relax everything. No tension. Feeling that warmth starting to build in the body. All right. Coming onto your side. And getting yourself nice and long. So kind of lined up along the long edge of your mat, and taking your top hand, pushing down into the floor. We're going to lift the legs, both legs, lifting them up away from the floor, pushing down into the floor with your fingertips. Good. And release down. Okay, coming down onto your stomach, well, really onto your forearms. So bringing the forearms parallel to one another. I'm going to take off this top so you can see me better. So coming down to the forearms, tuck your toes under and lift your hips, coming into forearm plank. The knees are down. Option is still knees for regular plank, regular forearm plank. And let's make some noise. So breathing out like you're blowing up a balloon. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Good. And lowering the hips down, coming into a low cobra here with the forearms parallel. All right. And then lowering down, fingertips to temples. And lifting the torso, the elbows, and the legs. Exhale and lower down. 2 more times. Engaging the body, lifting legs, torso, elbows, all as one unit, and lower down. Try to keep your legs straight and lift, engaging everything along the back line, and exhale, lower. Good. All right, we're going to roll on to our other side for that side work here. So getting yourself nice and long, resting your head on your arm and using the top fingers to support you out in front and engage the body as you lift the legs, lifting the legs a little or a lot. Keep pushing down into the floor to get you some feedback. Good. And lower down. Nice work. Coming onto your stomach again. And we'll come to those forearms again. Toes under. With your exhale, lift the hips. Okay. Option again is maybe lift the knees. And let's hold this for 3, 2, 1. Press up to plank. So if your knees are down, you can have your hands coming under the shoulders. We'll all come up. And if this is too much for the wrists, then stay on your forearms. And we'll take 3 more breaths here. Good. All right. Releasing those knees down to the floor for tabletop with pointer. So right arm goes forward, left leg goes back. Okay. If you're feeling really strong, you could lift your right knee. Okay. Otherwise, we're going to stay in our tabletop. All right. Exhale. Let's bring the elbow and knee together. Inhale, bring it out. Exhale, bring it in. 2 more. Inhale, send it out. Exhale. Last one. Good. Lower the hands down. Coming back into plank, spread wide through the fingers. If this bothers the wrist, make fists for wrists to create some stability in the wrist, or come back down to your forearms. Okay. All right. And then lower those knees back down if you lifted them. And let's come into pointer, other side. So left arm, right leg. Squeeze and lift. Keep pushing into the floor to give you some resistance for that core strength here. Try to get the back leg as strong as possible, as straight as possible. Here we go. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Good. And lower down. This time we'll take child's pose. So the knees coming wide, toes coming towards one another, and then bringing the hips back or down to the heels. You can rest on the forearms. You could rest on the back of the hands. Anything that's comfortable. If this is not comfortable in child's pose, you could place anything under your hips or under the knees. We'll just take a couple more breaths here. All right, and from your child's pose, walk the hands over to one side with a hand coming on top. And we'll walk through the middle and go to the other side. We'll just keep doing this side to side. Go back to the first side and back over to the other side. One more time to each side. And then go back to the first side, and this time we'll hold it for 3 breaths. Of course, you could always have stayed if you wanted to. All right, let's go to the other side for 3 breaths. And back through the center. Let's do downward dog if you're up for it. Downward dog with lifting the hips and sending the heels towards the earth, inviting some length. Maybe there's a little bit of movement in your dog pose. Maybe you'd rather be in happy puppy, taking the weight off of the wrists. Could be here. Great upper body stretch. Or you're in downward dog. All right. Let's repeat our knee to chest. So option is to do it from all fours, like so, knee to chest. Or if you want to join me in from downward dog, it's only with the arm or the leg, I mean. Exhale, bring your knee to your chest. Inhale, take it back up. Exhale, knee to chest. Again, you can do this from tabletop, knee to chest. Let's do 2 more. Okay, and actually 1 more, and then step that foot forward. Help it if you need with a soft landing. We'll lower the right knee down to the floor. And here we can use a block if you like. Coming up into a crescent lunge. Push onto that front thigh and reach your right arm up. Big stretch. Both arms can come up. We'll take cactus arms. Elbows going wide. Inhale, send the arms up and back. Exhale, elbows go wide. 1 more. Inhale up and exhale back. Good. Taking your hands down to the ground, lift your back toes under, or your back knee, I'm sorry, and step back to plank. Option tabletop. Downward facing dog. Two more breaths. All right, other side. So either from tabletop, leg goes back, right leg, exhale, knee to chest, or from downward dog, moving knee to chest, high plank. Back up, inhale, exhale, bring it in. Last one. And then the next one, we're going to lunge all the way through. Good. And releasing that left knee down. And pointing the foot back. Sometimes I feel that it's easier on my knee. Come on up to a crescent. Left arm comes up. Big stretch there. Exhale. And let's take both arms out to the sides. Inhale. Arms reach up. Exhale, taking those elbows wide. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. And last one. Good. Taking your hands down to the ground. And this time we're going to step forward into a forward fold. So again, if you would like to use a block here, great place for that. Just letting yourself drape over your legs. Maybe your knees are bent for this forward fold. Maybe you'd like to grab the backs of those knees, wrapping the forearms around them, grabbing opposite elbows, and extending the spine and the legs longer if that's available. All right, and releasing the hands down to the floor, bending the knees enough to do so. Inhale, coming into chair, your arms coming up, your hips coming low. Exhale, come to stand, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale to cactus arms. Those elbows draw back and down. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale to cactus. Inhale, arms lift. And exhale to cactus. Letting those arms float down now next to your sides. And we'll take a couple of breaths here. If it feels okay on your feet, lift your heels and lower. Just kind of feeling your foundation rocking forward and back. All right, with your next inhale, sweep your arms up, heels, feet firmly planted as you reach up to the ceiling. Exhale, bending the knees, tipping forward, and releasing the hands down. Step your right leg back and step your left leg back. Downward dog. Bending the knees for a crouch and step your right foot forward. Left foot forward. Lift halfway, hands to the shins or to the block. Exhale and forward fold. Bending the knees for chair pose. Choosing any arm position. Getting those hips heavy. Inhale, reaching up, extended mountain. And exhale, drawing the hands to the heart. Lifting the heels and lowering the heels. Lifting the heels again and lowering the heels. Maybe lifting the toes here and lifting the heels. Woo, and lowering the heels. Maybe lifting the toes. And one more time, lifting the heels and lowering the heels, lifting the toes maybe without falling over. All right. And then release down. Finding your solid footing here as your spine grows tall. Inhale, bring your arms up, reach up, extended mountain. Feel your feet firmly planted to the earth. And exhale, forward fold and touch down. Stepping your right leg back and then the left leg back. Downward facing dog. All right, we'll do that again. So crouching the knees here. We're going to step the left foot forward this time. Lunge. And then step the right foot forward. Fold. Bending the knees, coming into chair. Arms any position. Hips heavy, feet heavy. So look at those toes. See that those toes are still there. And then inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Lifting the heels and lowering the heels. Lift and open those toes, the space between the toes. Lower the toes, lift the heels. Lower the heels, lift the toes, create some space. And one more time, lifting those heels. Lowering the heels, toes lift. And then release. Inhale, arms rise. Reaching up, maybe look up. Feel the feet firm. Say that 3 times. Exhale and forward fold. All right. So challenge here. You can step back like we've been stepping back, or you can hop back. However you want to get there. And we'll find downward dog. With your next inhale, coming to a plank position. Maybe the knees are down. Maybe you're on the forearms. Take one knee down to the floor and turn for side plank option is to straighten both legs. Maybe stacking the feet, maybe stacking the shoulders. And bringing your hand down or forearm down, taking the other knee down, other side, side plank. Taking it down to plank or forearm plank, shifting your weight and coming down to your stomach. Coming into cobra pose, or if you're ready for upward dog with straight arms and quads and thighs lifted. Exhale and lower down. Stretch one arm forward and roll to that side, grabbing your ankle for a quad stretch. You can stay here, or if you want to, roll to your stomach for a variation of frog pose. You can come up onto the forearm. You could rest your head onto the hand, whatever you like. Feeling the surface beneath you, points of contact. Try to do this without lifting that knee way up or way back. You want to try to more or less keep it in line with your hip. And release that. We'll switch sides. First, rolling to your side, grabbing the ankle. If the ankle's not available, sometimes bringing the knee into the chest makes it a little easier to access. And then you could also straighten your bend your bottom leg if you like. And give yourself a couple more breaths here. Or rolling to your stomach gracefully. All right, and release that. Coming onto your stomach and coming into cobra and coming down. Press up to downward facing dog. All right, looking forward, travel to the top in your own way. I'm going to hop just for fun. Bending the knees, I'm going to hop. You can also walk or step. Forward fold. Coming into chair pose, inhaling, the arms rise, and exhaling to stand. Okay, here's where you might need your block. So from our chair position, so I'm bringing those hips down and low. Press into your right foot and lift your left ankle. And bringing the knee onto or ankle onto the knee. Gosh, I can't even talk this morning. Okay, bring the hands together or whatever's more comfortable for you. Those hips moving back and down. Okay. You can also use your block or your prop, whatever you got here for this. Okay. We're going to add a little twist here, if possible. If you want to join me, bringing the hands to the heart, and we're going to twist the left elbow towards the right foot. Ooh, yeah. Good. And come on up. I know that wasn't easy. What was I thinking? Okay. This is a strong class after all. Okay. Let's do it. Second side. Coming down into that chair pose. Getting your firm foundation in that left foot. Inhale, reach the right ankle up, bring it across, sending those hips back and down. Finding your stability, hands to the block, prop, or hands to the heart. Get long and rotate that elbow towards the opposite foot. Keep growing long. Right elbow to the left foot. Good. And then come back up. Usually easier the second time, huh? Or second side. Okay, walk it out. All right. We're going to do that again. Just one more time. Second time's always a charm, although I think they say the third time is a charm for whatever reason. Have to do some research on that. Okay, here we go. Hips down and back, pushing into your right foot. Lift your left ankle. That might be where you stay. Maybe it's here. Maybe your foot stays on the floor. That's always an option too. Foot on the floor for stability. And then as we turn, maybe the left elbow to the right foot. Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I'm gonna get my elbow to my foot. Not today, not ever for me. Okay, inhale, come back to center and exhale, rise. Oh, things yoga teachers say. Okay, that's second side, final side. Coming into your chair. And again, I'm going to choose maybe a different option this time on this side again. Otherwise, your ankle to knee. Okay, here we go. Hinging forward, bringing the right elbow towards the left knee or foot. Getting really, really long. And coming back through center. That's it. Rise on up. Good. Walk it out. Okay. Needing that prop again. Turn to face the screen and take your legs out wide. Turning your left foot towards the block or the prop. Okay. Gonna bend the knee a little bit so that we can bring your hand to the prop. Okay. The block might come to the outside of the foot, in front of the foot, whatever is available. Open up your chest, turn to face the screen. We're going to lift off into half moon pose. Okay. So pushing strongly into the legs. Now, if you want another challenge here today, we bring that top knee into the chest and grab the ankle. You're like, yeah, right. And here's our quad stretch, similar to what we did on our side. So opening up the chest. This is difficult to do without a prop. So you could use a wall, a chair, anything really. And then let's open it up back to our half moon. Nice. I know you got this. All right. Bend your front knee and come up to stand. Maybe bringing your prop with you for the second and final side. Okay. Turning, placing that prop down, toes pointing towards it. Hand can be at the hip for just to remind us about the back side, about the back leg. A lot of times the tendency is here to round. So I want to see if you can think about keeping your chest open. All right, let's reach down. And this might be where you stay today, right? Otherwise, find bringing that prop under the shoulders helpful. You can also got a wall here that's a really nice prop. So the top leg coming up, hand on the leg just to remind you about that back leg. Okay, and then option is to bring the knee into the chest, grabbing the ankle and moving your leg back. Good. And then releasing and bending that knee and slowly coming up. Nice work. Take your legs nice and wide now. You can have your prop coming into a forward fold. Roll the shoulders back and then send your torso forward, grabbing the somewhere along the legs, maybe the ankles. Maybe you're using your block, your prop. All right. We'll lunge to the short side of our mat. And bringing the right knee down. And this time we'll walk the left leg out to the side a little bit so it's a little bit more outside of the hip. You can have your prop here. We call this lizard pose. You can have your back uh, shin down. You can have the toes lifted. And some of you might be more in this position too. But we want to really try to get into that front of that hip where we store a lot of tension, especially if we've been sitting a lot, watching a lot of Netflix or just working at our computers or just being inactive. A lot of tension there. All right, let's lift the back knee, coming into that lizard. And let's find that lizard lunge on the other side. So stepping that right foot to the outside of the right hand. You can stay upright here or lower the left knee down to the floor. Some I've seen will also come down to the inside, all the way down like so. Don't worry though, that's an option in your body today. So we are not in a competition. In our yoga, it's really about non harming and kindness to ourselves. So it's just a great meeting place. Take a couple more breaths. All right. And then lifting that back foot and knee, and step back, downward dog. We'll do just one last vinyasa here, which means that we're going to move with our breath. So inhale, coming forward to a plank. Exhale, the knees coming down or not. Coming all the way down to a cobra pose. Inhaling, maybe upward facing dog with straight arms. And then exhaling into child's, taking the knees out wide and the hips towards the heels as we lower down. And with your next breath in, rise on up, shifting your weight off to one side, coming to the middle of your mat, grabbing the backs of your legs, tucking the chin, really stretch out the back here as you hold on to the legs coming down. And then when you come down, straighten one leg towards the ceiling and the other leg can be on the floor, or you can have that knee bent. And switching sides. And lowering that leg down. Bringing both knees in. We'll do one bridge pose today. So your elbows are going to be bent and your fingertips towards the ceiling. We'll press down into the backs of those arms. and start to lift your hips. You might end up rolling to the tops of the shoulders. We'll just take 2 more breaths here, maybe 3. And gently releasing down and grabbing opposite shoulders. And maybe backs of the hands together for eagle arms if you'd like. And turn your head to one side. Turn your head to the other side. And bringing your head back to center. Open up the arms and change the cross of the arms. Grabbing the shoulders. Turning your head to one side. And to the other side. And back through center. Arms to the ceiling. Thumbs into the palms. Wrap your fingers around the thumbs and circle the wrists. And go the other way. And then clasp your hands, palms pressed to the ceiling, arms reach next to the ears, straighten your legs, flex your feet towards the knees, toes towards the knees, and release the arms down like a snow angel, letting the hands rest to your sides. So we've landed in our final relaxation pose. If this is not a comfortable position for you, please get yourself comfortable. You might be sitting, you might be lying on your side, you might even be on your stomach or coming back into child's pose. So I'll be guiding you through just a few moments here of meditation. So noticing the breath as it's coming in through your nose. And if it's not coming in through your nose, is there a way to seal the lips to allow the warm air to be filtered, warmed as it comes in through the nose? And is there any part of your body that is still gripping? There's tension. What about your eyelids, your jaw, the inner ears? Check in with your shoulders and the back of your head. What about your palms? And check in with the breath, your torso. And checking in with your back, with your hips. with your legs, your ankles, checking in with your feet. Is there a part of you that could use your personal touch? Maybe a word of kindness, of compassion. Is there a part of you that is calling to you, speaking louder, that needs to be heard? Just tracking sensation and anything that may arise. Staying with present awareness. If your mind wanders somewhere else, bring it back. Just notice that it has wandered and bring it back. I'll leave you for a few more moments in silence and just witnessing, listening to the inner voice, traversing your inner landscape. How's your heart? Begin now to just welcome whatever you hear, whether it's inside of the room, distant sounds, birds, traffic, somebody preparing breakfast in the other room. What do you notice? And then noticing the surface beneath you, the texture of it, the solidity of it, the forgiveness. And what else might you notice as you begin to enliven movement and breath? And whether you're lying or sitting, maybe begin to emerge now from that place of stillness. Maybe there's some movement in the shoulders, maybe the head's moving, just a gentle movement side to side or forward and back. Anything that might need your attention, whole body awareness as you bring yourself back up to sitting in a comfortable seated position. And when you've arrived at your seated position, if you'd like to join your hands together, welcoming them in front of the heart as we close our practice together today, our time together, you can take a moment to drop the chin towards the chest, eyes closed or open, moment of gratitude. You brought yourself to the mat. You're practicing self care in all ways. May you all be well, be happy, be peaceful. Until I see you next time, take really good care. And in yoga, we honor each and every one of you as we say namaste. So, namaste to all of you, just like we would say hello or goodbye or aloha, pura vida. Maybe you coming from someplace that there's another greeting, and if you'd like to share it in the chat, I'd love to hear what your greeting is. We'll see you next time. Again, my name is Tonya, and if you have the means and would like to donate, there's a link below to do so. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you again. Have a great weekend. Thank you. Namaste. Bye, EJ. Thanks so much.